Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the social funnel module. Okay, today we're going to be going through basically a lot of really good stuff about how you are going to be taking traffic that is completely unaware of you, from taking them to just a complete stranger to actually recognizing who you are, becoming aware of you, your audience, your presence, everything, and then basically being able to take them and turn them into someone who is a loyal follower and someone who eventually does actually take action. Okay. Now, social funnels, you've probably heard this terminology come up more often now. I'm actually starting to see a lot more ads come out about a lot of creators and a lot of people that are talking more so about like the power of social funnels. I think it's starting to get more of a label now, but these are things that have been around for years. And, especially since I started my marketing agency, talking to other people who are basically brand new starting their agency. Everyone utilized some form of a social funnel, but now it's just becoming more adopted and has actually been given a label. So let's actually dive into today's module and talk about obviously the platforms that you need to be on and getting clients with the content, okay, through systems and processes. So building credibility and authority in your niche. Okay, so let's talk about creating credibility first. So you can speak on the subject fluently and communicate it simply. All right, this will be a very telling sign of someone who is credible versus someone who is not. Okay, you make educational content around one given niche. Okay, again, if you are an agency owner servicing, like myself, e-commerce brands, you need to be making content around e-commerce brands. Okay. You can post your past results to show your audience that you know what you're doing and especially what you're talking about, okay? The more you're in the agency space and the more clients you work with, the more cool results you create for them, the more testimonials. These are things that you can begin posting to create more credibility, okay? Subconsciously to viewers, having a following on a given platforms, and again, this will take time. Okay. So if you, and I think I had mentioned this in another video, but it's sad that obviously we're at this point in life where your level of following can relate to your amount of credibility, but that's just the ecosystem and the environment we live in. Okay. So as you post more content and you stay more consistent, you will actually begin to build a following. Okay. And then when clients begin to, come to you and ask you questions or follow you, they'll begin to see you as that, credible source of information that they can actually lean on and utilize for more education. Right. So creating authority. So you need to stay consistent at posting content and remain relevant. Okay. There's many, many reasons why you need to be consistent. Okay. Consistency will actually lead to long-term growth. It'll lead to actually getting results long-term, but it'll also help you remain relevant. Okay. You need to make those multiple touching points with your audience and you need to nurture them. That is the biggest thing. Okay. Your content has a unique factor to it and doesn't seem copy and pasted from other creators. Okay. So this is another way of creating authority. You by now have shared so many past results that your audience knows that you mean business. All right. So by now you are just seen as the ideal authority in your space. Okay. I'm sure that in whether it's the agency space, whether it's in the coaching space, all these things, the people that you look up to are typically the people that just have such a good track record. You see them as the authority. Okay. You look up to them and you want to become that. Okay. And then lastly, you now begin getting recognized by other creators. Okay. So this is a really good telling sign that you're on the right path. You're doing the right things. Okay. The platforms that you need. Okay. So let's talk about the actual social media platforms that you need to be on in order to start generating this top of the funnel traffic and getting people into your social funnel. Okay. So Facebook. So Reels are highly underrated right now. You can grow a massive following quite fast. I know that I recently started reposting basically all of my content from TikTok all the way into places like Facebook, into YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, all these different places. Okay. So the beauty of Facebook is because Facebook and Instagram are completely different entities. I think a lot more people are focused on the Instagram Reels feature compared to the Facebook Reels feature. And I know that even a lot of the other coaches that I converse with on a daily basis, they've also said that a lot of their growth right now on Facebook is just due to they're reposting all of their content to Facebook. And because it's so underrated, they're really growing really fast. And the agency owner space is amazing for Facebook because again, in some of our later modules, we're going to be talking about how you can go into Facebook groups and be getting clients there and doing a lot of really cool things. Okay. So Facebook being the first one that you need to be on. Okay. Instagram. So you need to share a more personal look into your life. Obviously you can do that through carousels, through posts with, videos, through photos, things like that, but also sharing more reels. Okay. And I have listed here, share value, adding content via IG Reels. On TikTok, you can get tons of eyeballs onto your content. Again, it's one of those platforms where you'll post stuff and you'll be like, that was a stupid video. It'll go viral and it's a great thing. Okay. But TikTok, you're going to get a lot of eyeballs on your content, and it's great for testing all of your content to see what is the best performing content that you can then use for like posting to Instagram or posting to Facebook, LinkedIn, all these different places. Okay. YouTube is the long-term play. All right. It takes time. I'm a huge victim of this. Like I'll get into consistent rituals of posting a YouTube video a week or every 2 weeks. The best thing about, YouTube is like, if you just enjoy the process of it and you enjoy creating, it won't get to you that much. But the thing is YouTube is a long-term play. So sometimes it can seem like you're not growing subscribers that fast, or you're not getting that much traction in your video. You're just posting and you're not getting that many views. It just takes time. Okay. Now the beauty of YouTube right now is they've actually integrated, their version of TikToks, which is called YouTube Shorts, into the platform. So you can actually post a combination of long form YouTube content in the form of a YouTube video, and then you can actually post the short form content, which is the shorts. I do find that if you just post YouTube shorts, you will grow subscribers, but you have to be focused on volume of shorts that you post. Right now, I believe I'm posting, and I get into this, but I have my virtual assistant basically reposting about 2 of my TikToks a day to YouTube shorts, and we're growing quite significantly. So soon enough here, we will be jumping back onto like the weekly YouTube long form content, because it is a really good way of building like a really loyal, engaged audience and just building up your credibility in your niche. Okay. So again, it's the best platform for creating a loyal audience. And then LinkedIn, obviously more business oriented. If used properly, it can be used for, a really good place to network. And then obviously some people will check your LinkedIn as a final box to check in terms of if you're credible or not. Okay. This kind of applies to sometimes the higher level business owners that you're probably working with. You want to be able to obviously have a good setup LinkedIn page, add some content to it, set it up. It'll probably take a few days, but if you're not big on LinkedIn like I am, you don't need to worry about it too much. Okay. And then on Twitter, you have, obviously, it's a great place to build a community and be a part of a community. Growing on Twitter is a long-term play and takes actual tactics. I will say that. And, obviously using Twitter to keep your fingers on the pulse of the market. So again, Twitter is like a really good place that I find I use for like my news and like my education. Like it's a great place to learn. And it's a really good place that like, if you just focus on it, you can actually build quite a cool audience on it. I know for a fact, like the e-commerce space is like bumping on Twitter, which is super cool. We've gotten a few clients off of Twitter, just like random posts. We've started a lot of conversations. It's really, really good for networking. So again, I highly recommend utilizing Twitter as well too. Okay. So these are all the main platforms that you need to be focusing on. Now, in terms of content creation, I would say if you are going to focus on any of these, I would say Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. Okay. Once you make your TikToks, you just repost to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You'll be good. You will be good. All right. So the social funnel, step-by-step system. All right. So create awareness by posting niche-oriented content. Engage with your audience daily. Then you'll be able to get one-on-one conversations created. You nurture those conversations, and then you get more meetings booked. Okay. I want to completely remove the idea that like you need to be DMing people or, just going like straight in for the kill to get somebody to book in a call with you. Okay. You need to this is a step-by-step process. You need to actually create awareness by posting niche-oriented content and make those people aware of what it is that you're doing. Okay. You might have a business. If you're not making people aware that you have a business, then what's the point? Right. So you need to make people aware. Then you need to consistently engage with them on a daily basis. Then from there, the more you nurture them, one-on-one conversations will get started. Then you need to nurture those conversations, add value to them. Don't go straight in for the kill. And then through that conversation, once you start to identify their needs, their wants, or desires, and then you can see if you have a solution, you can actually get those calls booked. Okay. So posting routine. So on Facebook, guys, like I had mentioned, I do have a virtual assistant doing this for me, and we do get on to that topic with outsourcing with a VA to help you with your content distribution. We'll get into that into the later module, but this is basically what I have going on. Okay. So on Facebook, I'm posting 2 to 3 reels per day. But for you, ideally working up to about 1 per day for maximum growth. Okay. And then aiming for 1 to 2 written value posts per week. So that's a post where you go in, you make a post, you're copywriting it out, and then you post it. Those are really, really good as well too. Okay. Again, different layers of education for different people. Okay. Then on Instagram, you have 2 to 3 reels per week, ideally working up to 1 per day for maximum growth, and then 1 carousel post per week. Okay. So you want to, again, have have that diversity in your content. You want to share the value on Instagram, but then you also want to make sure that you're giving that like personalized and genuine sort of, inside scoop of your life as well too. Okay. On TikTok, posting 2 to 3 times per week, ideally working up to 1 per day. On YouTube, 1 long form post every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. And then ideally 2 long form posts per week for maximum growth. Okay. When I was posting a lot on YouTube, I was posting 1 to 2 per week. I was seeing good growth. But it did become unsustainable just because, again, if you don't have like a video editor and stuff, it can be a lot. So if that's you though, if you love content creation, you'll be good. And then on LinkedIn, 2 posts per week is good. Okay. Videos, images, only copy, polls, things like that. These things all work. I actually really highly recommend utilizing polls. I find polls work very well. I don't know what it is about LinkedIn, but if you're posting on polls, the engagement on those posts typically really go off. Okay. So important notes. Okay. Social funnels are a long-term play. They require patience and consistency. You typically won't see the fruits of your labor right away. Social funnels are like your online resume. People will look into you before booking a call. Okay. Your social media should be optimized to give them a good impression of you. So the one thing with this whole section, with the organic acquisition section, okay, is it is a long-term play. You're going to be making content and you just need to see it as you're building up your personal brand. It's going to help you on a personal branding level, and it will eventually bring you in new conversations, new leads, new prospects, new clients, all these things, but it's a long-term play. Okay. This isn't something that is like a direct straight line formula to getting clients. You don't know when your clients are going to come up. You can't put a timeline on like when the clients are going to start coming your way or these leads are going to start coming your way. It's just something that you need to be consistent at building. Okay. So utilizing social funnels are really, really effective. However, it is just a long-term play. Okay. So your action steps for today. So begin optimizing all your social media accounts, your bio information, who you follow. Guys, there's no reason why you guys should be following especially for you men watching this, like if you're a guy and you're following like hundreds of Instagram influencers and stuff, girls on the beach, like these are things that you don't need, okay? You don't want to be a consumer anymore of social media. Like that's not going to get you to your first 10K month or your first 30K or 40K, 50K month. You need to become a creator, especially if you want to start, really maximizing on the organic acquisition side. Okay. So really clean out your profiles, clean out who you follow, clean out your content. If you have pictures of you like drinking on the weekends when you're in high school, take that off. Okay. You don't need it. And then obviously change up your bio information. Now, what I don't recommend you doing is doing what every agency owner, on God's given earth does, which is, everyone's bio sounds the same these days. It's like we run Facebook ads for this type of client. It's like, okay, cool. But it's like everyone does now, right? So be unique with your bio, give people an explanation of like who you are, what you do, but be unique with it. Okay. And then begin planning out your content. All right. Begin posting consistently, create a plan that is attainable, and don't create a plan which leads to burnout. Okay. The worst thing that you can do with content creation and posting your content is you build something that is it's going to burn you out fast. Right. You want to make sure that this is a sustainable blueprint for yourself. That is one thing. I can guarantee that you will get new leads and you will get new clients through organic acquisition. But if you burn out, you're just gonna be going on and off with creating content, filming it, editing it, posting it. You're gonna be on and off, and then you're never gonna have that consistency, which actually brings in the results. Okay, so don't burn out. Build something that is sustainable. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this module. There will be a lot of plug and plays in these as well too. We will be adding them onto these pages as they actually come out, because again, we do update this course on a quarterly basis, but even every single day, like me and my team are looking through these modules and seeing how we can make adjustments to our current plug and plays, what plug and plays we need to add, the content we need to add, and everything. So those updates to the program will be inside of the Discord community. So stay tuned for those. But by all means, utilize these plug and plays to the best of your ability. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next module.